Thursday evening. Moon is up in the sky. Old man by the fire pit. Time to make some commentary. Everyone see the SpaceX spacewalk this morning, or at least seen the reruns. Kind of amazing, 450 miles out into space. Commercial civilians conducting experimentations on new spacesuits from a non-governmental agency. The commercialization of space, the next frontier. Just to think what we can do if we don't let the government regulate everything and let us have the ability to go out and explore, take risks, not be bubble wrapped. Kind of interesting. We're in the midst of the political season. It's us versus them mentality, when in reality it should be what is best for our nation. Experience over the lack of experience. Most people know how I'm going to vote. And all I can say is people that vote your conscience, vote your responsibility, vote your reality. All I can say is that day one for one of the candidates began 3.5 years ago. And nothing to show for it except higher prices, unemployment, crime out of hand. And don't tell me about crime is reduced. That's because people are not reporting crime. We've gotten soft on crime. Misdemeanor crimes now for larcenies are $1,000. And those are not reported most of the time. Businesses are taking the loss, but they can only take the loss so much. For anyone that goes out and eats, you know that restaurants are having a tough time because they have to send the cost of what they have to pay for their food onto the customer, just like you and I have to pay for higher prices at the grocery store. We have to make those decisions. Do we use ground beef, or do we use ground chicken, or do we do something else to make our meals stretch? So we need to really think about, are we better off now than we were 3.5 years ago? So whatever your choice is, that's your choice. I'm just thankful that I live in a nation that I have the rights that I have. And I'm going to fight to keep the rights that were granted to me by God and by our founding fathers under this constitutional republic. Freedom of speech, the freedom to assemble, the right to bear arms, the right to be secure in my documents and my property, the rights to be judged by a jury of my peers, the rights that I know we need to take back our land, we need to take back our nation. Everyone argues about one candidate's going to take away the Department of Education at the federal level. Well, maybe it needs to be. It's only been in office a little over 40 years, and it's been an absolute failure. I think we can allocate the funding back to the states and then to our local school boards for a standardized education that raises the educational value and the educational experience of our children. And if you want to go to college, you can work for it or strive on scholarships. We ought to be advocating for trades and experiences and life knowledge and how to fix a car, how to fix a washing machine, how to balance a checking account, how to be fiscally responsible, how to cook a meal, know the difference between sugar-laden food and protein-rich food. Learn how to be healthier. These are all things that we can be doing. That's the challenge that's facing us this election cycle. It's not about the right of a woman to have an abortion or not. It's not about the right of someone to say that their pronouns are it, they, whatever. Let's use some common sense. Men are men, women are women. It's the state's rights to regulate abortion and define what it is. It's not the federal government. It's not a constitutional right. The Supreme Court got it right. If you want an abortion, go to a state that allows it. Otherwise, let's work on adoptions. Let's secure the border. Let's make Americans priority. Let's spend our tax dollars wisely. Let's tell Congress we want term limits on them. They're not in the business of making a pension from the taxpayers. They're the representatives of the states they represent. They're our voice. That's all we have to hold them to is our voice. And let's make it for a regulated time. Take care of the political machines and the lobbyists. Get them out of the business of politics. I'm done ranting, I guess, for the evening. Everyone have a great evening. Thank the good Lord above, for ultimately He is the one we answer to. God bless America.